Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Feel better? Had
Sure.
your lunch? All's
Sure.
good?
Sure.
How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I've been up for too many hours and doing too much stuff, but we finally have a chance to sit down and just chill and conversate, which is really nice. Because we haven't had a whole lot of that in the last couple weeks. It's been go, 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 run, run, run. And
Yeah.
that's getting a little irritating. But in the big scheme of things, it's worth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Don't gulp into the mic. Swallow, swallow, swallow.
Any fucking way.
Look, earlier, so your friend Marlon gave me that Ninja
Ice
Creamy
cream,
machine.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm putting in that Greek yogurt I want, the one that I really like.
Okay.
And when I popped the lid, because my hands were wet, so I had to pull the tab off, it went all over, and it looked like somebody did not follow my rules of... So I was going to run in here and be like, not in the face, not in the face. You could be like, what the fuck? But
I'm good.
I was just like, you probably would have thrown up being like, because it literally was everywhere under my eye, all the way down my shirt. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Mm.
And then I got red wine vinegar on everything. I'm like, crap, now I got to change. Anyways. So how have you been?
I've been all right. How you been doing?
Good. Just kind of busy with work. And then, we had other stuff we had to take care of. And
Yeah.
which, so I do want to give a shout out to Greg and Barbie, because I'm super happy to see Miss Barbie doing better.
Oh, yeah.
Her color is better. She was gray there for a very long time.
Yeah.
She was like, how they have that song Black and Yellow? She was gray and yellow, gray and yellow. So she looks a lot better. She had to show off,
Yeah.
put some steps in yesterday. Super proud of her.
Yeah.
And it was the people who know us in our personal lives.
Mm-hmm.
So they all know that we had somebody we lost this year that we love very much. And it was a gorgeous service, and it was a good time with the family. And the only thing I can say as the individuals looking down is like, dude, good for you. That's all I can say. Because there were some of those pictures I was really like, oh my God, I felt like they weren't appropriate to show in a public venue. But it was good. It was a good time with the family.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's, Barbie and Greg making it down. It's like awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we celebrated their lives and we honored them, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so I finally did a recommend you gave me.
Okay. Which one?
I'm right. Like, which one? Because I'm so slow to upcatch on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, oh, that show or that book or whatever, that sounds really good. And then it's like, oh, but wait a minute, 7 Days to Die. Or, oh, but wait a minute, I got 100 projects here to do. Kraven the Hunter. You actually gave me a recommend to watch that movie.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, a lot of people didn't like it, but that's the way of things.
Well, we're just picky people, and it's okay if they didn't like it. But for me, I loved it.
Yeah.
I completely enjoyed it. I like the concept, and I don't have any backstory, any back knowledge of the comics themselves.
Okay.
And that's literally, I went into it blind.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I liked him. He's a decent actor. I like him. I loved him in Bullet Train. He's Tangerine in Bullet Train.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Oh, now I'm going to give you that recommend. Hop on Netflix, watch Bullet Train. Mm. It's got Brad Pitt, Joey King.
Oh yeah, that's the one where it's a bunch of assassins trying to kill some dude. Okay, yeah.
And it's just so funny. And of course, Michael Shannon plays the main bad guy in it. So and he's normally in very. He played Zod in the newer Superman stuff.
I've not seen that.
Not, I mean, the stuff with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I've not seen the Henry Cavill stuff.
Cavill. Oh, I'm thinking.
Yeah, the last one I saw was with Brandon Routh.
Fuck that guy.
I kind of like him. Not necessarily that he's an amazing actor. I saw some stuff with him before I saw any of them, and it was not. He was on the Bulletproof podcast, talking with fucking Dave Asprey, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
And he seemed like an interesting person. So I was like, okay, I'll watch the fucking Superman movie. So then I did. And I was like, okay, this movie's not all that great, but I'm not upset about him.
Right. I don't, it's like everybody who gets so upset about Ben Affleck being Batman. It's like, why? It's like, look, they're actors. They try different things. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Me, for Brandon Routh, he's a very good actor. And I remember years ago you talking about him being on the Bulletproof. So that's all good. The only character I have enjoyed watching him play was in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
So in the Green Arrow as Adam.
Yeah.
It's the only time. Everything else I've ever seen him do, he's pretty much a DB. And I've never wanted to see him.
That character is kind of that. I mean, he's kind of...
He's intelligent, cocky. It just reminds me. Adam in Green Arrow, take this with all the niceties you can. Some of his behavior, mannerisms, I'm like, oh, that's Dagda. because you have that higher level of intelligence, there is only so much placation you can do to people.
Yeah.
And then you just have to be like, look, don't be stupid. If I tell you that Ion's moved to the right and Atom's moved to the left, that's what it fucking does. So it sucks to be a know-it-all.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. So anyways, I went into this blind. I went into Kraven blind. I really liked it. And it took me, I felt kind of like a dirty old lady for a minute there because Kraven's shirtless so much.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this guy who's,
I mean, he's all about nature, so...
Yeah, which
being
is...
il natural is kind of natural.
Right? I mean, I found myself laughing at many times. I found myself getting frustrated with Russell Crowe, who plays his dad.
Yeah.
Many times. And I'm just like... Then I really got upset with his little brother. And I'm like, you dirty dinkleberry. But...
I mean, I only knew a little bit about that character going into it because he's a Spider-Man character, and I only knew that he was this dude who liked hunting dangerous game type thing, and so I didn't know his actual background or any of that. I never read any of the comics that he was actually in. I just knew that he was a Spider-Man character and blah blah blah.
Right.
So it was kind of interesting. So I was coming at it only slightly more knowledgeable than you.
Right.
So as a result, I don't have a lot of the hang-ups that a lot of the actual fans would have because I don't fucking know. This is the first time it's been this character has truly been presented to me. So all you true fans out there, don't get upset.
Yeah, please don't. Like, honestly, please don't. Because it's like I'm complimenting it to the highest. I like the movie in the form where I didn't feel I needed to know his backstory. I feel the film did well enough explaining and giving you the basic idea of who his dad was and how he came to be from Sergei Kravinoff to being Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah. Well, and also one of the things I think I don't believe that most of the information that was presented in the movie is the way he's presented when he's first introduced.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, there's this dude hunting Spider-Man because he's dangerous game or whatever.
Right.
And they don't really get into his true background until much later.
Yeah.
That's my assumption of what happens because that happens most of the time. The one thing I didn't really like, well, I kind of have mixed feelings about it, is that they had Rhino in there, right?
Right.
One of the main bad guys was Rhino. And it was kind of cool, but also like they made Rhino like a mutant, basically.
Yeah, it very much reminded me like, oh, are you trying to play on Deadpool's popularity by having this scientist in New York who did an experiment to help you, and all of a sudden it went bad?
Yeah.
Because that 1,000% felt like a shout out to Deadpool. Because that's the same thing that happened to Deadpool. He had these mad scientists say, we're going to fix ya.
I mean, there's a bunch of different characters that have that kind of background. Just like there's a whole bunch of characters who have basically the super soldier serum, like Captain America.
Right.
It's just Captain America was the most successful attempt.
Yeah.
The one with no negative side effects and blah, blah, blah.
It's because he was pure heart. There's two things that I think why Captain America, and I'm not trying to squirrel away from Kraven, but there's two things that I've noticed when I'm watching the Captain America or any of the Marvel, phase 1 and 2 and 3 and 5 and 1209, whatever. There's two things I've noticed about this to why he.
Good job.
You are so welcome. Why he made the perfect super soldier. Not just his heart and his intent, but he was a virgin. And I think that makes all the difference because he had no corruption and no sin. Where everybody else who's taking the super soldier, either they had a serum, had a lot of corruption or intent, or were already de-virginized, like the one guy from the 40s.
Oh, the black dude?
Yeah, the black dude, which I wish I could remember his name. I'm so sorry.
I can't remember his name either.
But so Kraven, I felt like I didn't need to know everything. I feel like they explained everything enough. I loved the story between him and the girl, and it wasn't a romance story.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. I really loved it. And it was one of the parts of the movies that made me laugh so hard when she said, "How did you find me?" And he's just like, "I'm a hunter." Just like, again, there's his name, Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked it, but it did this thing that only my brain can do, I swear to Jesus, where I went, I remember I've seen Aaron Taylor Johnson in other things.
Okay.
And what was it? So I did a Wikipedia poll.
Okay.
Oh my God. Only me. I swear I'm the only person in the world who ever does it. I know I can't be, but, I mean, like, it will go to the depths of looking at the things that I did.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Down the rabbit hole.
Yes. Down the wiki hole. It's wiki and wild.
It sounds dirtier that way.
It's so wiki and wild. Yeah. So the first place that I saw Aaron Taylor Johnson was before he was Aaron Taylor Johnson. It was when he was Aaron Johnson, and that was in KickAss.
Okay.
He's Dave Lewinsky. He's KickAss.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. So you have that in your mind now. Now you can look at KickAss, and then you look 13 years later, and you see Kraven, and you're like, holy crap! That's a physical evolution. Yeah, he definitely broed up.
He had a glow up.
He had a beyond glow up. But it was interesting because I'm just like, wait, what? And then I couldn't remember at first. I'm like, isn't he the kid who married the... And I feel so bad for his wife that my brain just went, isn't he the kid who married the old lady? That's not what I meant, because I have a younger partner myself. But I meant older.
Crater robber.
Well, they're like, he's 35 and she's like 60 now.
What? Okay.
Yeah, she's like 59, almost 60.
Damn.
Yeah, he was born in 1990 and she was born in 1966, I think.
God damn.
Look, so she was married to this other guy, and then she got divorced or was going through this divorce. They met on her very first movie that she was doing called Nowhere Boy or something like that. And after the wrapping of the film, after her divorce and all of that, then they started dating. They started dating in 2009, which I'm telling you, he's 35 right now. He'll be 36 later this year, okay? So that means they started dating 17 years ago when he was 18, about to be 19. And he has been faithful and loyal and with her since. They have a couple of daughters. They do projects together. They have a good life. And it is insane to me that you just emphatically know at 18 years old, this is my path. And I don't mean about a job, but I mean about a person. It
sounded like Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore.
Yeah, but I think they were separated more than they were ever together. And they had more of a, everything I've read indicated they had more open marriage space than not. So I don't know. But anyways, so he started out as Dave in KickAss, and then he's Kraven. And what's even wilder to me about Aaron Taylor Johnson is the fact that in Avengers, Age of Ultron, you can see the evolution of where he's going physically. Because he was Pietro Maximoff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy when you put it together like that. But literally, you can look at the stages of his life and his physicality.
Wasn't there another dude who played that character too, though?
No, there was two different guys who played. Well, Quicksilver. There's
those are the same character. They just
yes. Then that would be Evan Peters did play Quicksilver in the X-Men side of things, and then Aaron Taylor Johnson in both the End of Winter Soldier, where that's when we're first introduced to
the Maximoffs.
The Maximoffs, thank you. Like, I can't even remember her name right now. What's her name?
The Scarlet Witch. I can't remember her actual name, though.
No, I know who Elizabeth Olsen is, but I can't remember her name in the fucking show.
Yeah, the Scarlet... I can't remember the Scarlet Witch's fucking first name.
We'll figure it out.
Maximoff.
Yeah, it'll all of a sudden come out. It literally just passed my brain. Anyways, and that's because this last year I did something I never do, and that's I skipped all of my Marvel movies in order. I didn't watch... It's been over a year. Because usually what I do is I watch them twice a year in order. And for the last year, I've actually kind of avoided that, trying to expand out.
I've actually still not watched a movie or even a television episode in, I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's crazy. So I was doing this research. So you've got him as Dave. You got him as KickAss. And then you have him show up at the very end in the ending credits, because there's going to be people going, he wasn't in Winter Soldier. What are you talking about? He shows up in the end credits, the very end credits. You see the Romanoffs and their little powers starting to come through. And then you see him actually in the full Ultron movie. And he's in there.
Yeah.
Well, not he's not fully throughout it, but he's in it a little bit. Literally, her name has just went through my head like 5 times. It's driving me nuts. Yeah. And it's like, And so you see this physical change, and I'm like, this is crazy. But then I read more about him, right? And he's a farmer. He's a vegetable farmer in his off time at home. Him and his wife in England have a little farm, and that's what he does. And I'm like, well, that makes sense why he doesn't, like why he's built the way he is. But it's just like, I didn't realize I liked him as an actor so much until I looked at his timeline of what he was doing and like what movies he's been in. And it's just like, he's made to be a superhero or an anti-hero of some kind, because KickAss and then Pietro and then Kraven. And it's so weird that Pietro Maximoff and obviously Kraven are both in the Marvel universe.
Yes. So
then my brain did one more little weird thing. And it was as I was getting ready to fall asleep while I'm reading Wikipedia, my head went up and I went, I hope they do a reboot of Iron Man and they have Aaron Taylor Johnson play a younger Tony Stark. I think that would be fan-freaking-tastic.
Okay.
And her name just went through my head again. Can you look it up? Your phone's faster than mine. Mine's like 10 years old, and it's just like needs crutches at this point. Anyways.
Mine's 85 years old. What are you talking about?
Maybe 85 days. I don't know.
It's longer than that.
So I really liked it. I'm like, I was amazed at this guy, that he just has all this energy and everything. And he just plays these different characters that are great. And even when you watch him from the Marvel movie from Age of Ultron into Bullet Train, where he plays Tangerine, one of the Tims.
Wanda.
Thank you. WandaVision. Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah, exactly.
This is what happens.
I think that did run through my head, but then I was just like, it's WandaVision. It's not.
Right. And in my head, I'm going, it's Vision and what's her name? And I kept saying Scarlet in my head. I'm like, that's not it. And then I kept saying Elizabeth, and I'm like, that's really not it.
And then I was like, Scarlett Johansson.
She's a Black Widow, baby.
I know.
All right. I love I love so much about the Marvel world, especially the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Where Yelena's just like, and why do you drop down and do these splits like that? You just, why are you showing off? It's so great. Anyways, so that's what my thought was, is Aaron Taylor Johnson. They could redo Tony Stark, do him younger, and they could have Aaron Taylor Johnson play him.
Okay.
I think it would be great.
Okay. Don't give them any ideas to fucking regurgitate shit yet.
Well, I mean, it's been 15, 17.
God damn it, it hasn't been long enough.
It has been almost 20 years since Iron Man 1 came out.
40 fucking years and then redo it.
Well, I won't have an interest in it in 40 years. I'll probably be off to, look at the romantic princesses by then or something. I don't know. Although I think I'm kind of a diehard Marvel fan. There is somebody I work with, and she's just like, I love Marvel. I can't wait for Doomsday. I was like, I know.
Yeah, I remember somebody was talking about that at work too, talking about Doomsday.
It's like, like, look, all of us Marvel nerds, we're just kind of out there. Just, I don't go to the extreme of some of these people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know some stats on some of the people and like all of that. Like, Steve Rogers, he went back in time and, had his kids with his girl and all that. And when he came back, theoretically, he would have been 94 years old when he passed away. But because of being frozen in ice, he was like 124 or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean...
Isn't insanely crazy numbers.
Yeah.
So anyways, I don't know. I was really shocked that I really liked Kraven the way I did. And my partner didn't. I mean, he was like, it was okay. And I'm like, I love this. I loved how violent it was. And I don't have a better way to say that, but sometimes it was just violent.
Yeah.
And it was like...
There was a little bit of a ultra violent.
Of course.
Sorry, love. No time to read the meter.
Look, you keep your Clockwork Orange to yourself.
I misquoted that, by the way.
That's fine, but I knew you were trying to quote Clockwork Orange, and that's one of the movies that creeps me out.
At least I'm not quoting Caligula. I don't believe he's a virgin. That scene's so fucked up. Anyway.
Is that the first scene?
No.
Because I never made it past the semen bath house.
Yeah, no, this is later. This is when he decides to he's emperor at this point, and he has decided that he's going to, because apparently they had the quote unquote right to deflower virgins on their fucking wedding day or some shit.
Yeah, that's an old practice.
And so he shows up at one of his guards' weddings.
Okay.
And he deflowers the bride, and then he says, "I don't believe you're a virgin," to the dude. And that's the scene where he's got a fistful of grease and a giant ass ring on. "I don't believe you're a virgin." Anyway, I won't describe any more of that scene.
Yeah, because I've never seen the whole movie because I gagged within the first 10 minutes.
I mean, old dude was fucked up. Although the greatest, my favorite quote from that movie is he's trying to raise money. And so he's like, "Who are the biggest whores in Rome?" And he's like, "The senators' wives." So basically he creates a brothel for that is filled with senators' wives.
Wow.
So fucked up.
We must be able to continue our whoring and our fucking, and so we're going to use them to make money.
Yep.
Oh my God. Wretched. Anyways. Erasing that from my mind.
Brain bleach.
Malcolm McDowell was a great actor.
Yes.
But that is a movie I feel like never should have been made.
I mean,
I feel like that and The Devil and Miss Jones should have never been made. Because they, one, Caligula, I had to turn off because I just gagged. So I and not in a way. I mean, I like in that way.
Yeah.
And so everybody's
a lot
probably
of gross shit that happened.
Everybody's probably thinking, "Oh, her partner got it good." No, he didn't. Because I saw it well before I met my partner. But then The Devil and Miss Jones, just creep me out too. I'm just like,
what? Oh, Taboo. That's also a super fucked up movie.
well,
If you
it is,
consider
but
the actual content that's going on in there, it's like, wow. And they have, like, I think they got up to like
9,
18.
10, 20 billion. But it's I mean, if we were in Arkansas, they'd be like, "What? That's just normal." They'd be like, "That's just a Saturday night double feature. What you talking about?" Kidding, I think. Anyways, so what made me look into Aaron Taylor Johnson a little bit more, and I thought, oh man, he would be great as a young Tony Stark, and I love that idea. But now I'm kind of like, I can't wait to see what's next. And coincidentally, just didn't know. I knew he was in it just because it was just like I'd scrolled to a movie. I was just like, oh, I haven't seen this yet because I don't go to the theaters anymore. I want to watch this movie yesterday. And it was 28 years later. And Aaron Taylor Johnson's in that.
Oh, okay.
And it was interesting because in Kraven the Hunter, he's like, naked running through the forest.
Is he the alpha zombie?
No, which, by the way, excuse me, Danny Boyle, and whatever your name is. I can't remember your name, ma'am. I'm so sorry. There was no need to show that. Did you see that?
No, I heard about it, though.
Oh, my God. I'm like, no.
Why is there a zombie dong on the fucking screen so long?
It's not even that there's a zombie dong there because there's lots of zombie dicks. Just
really?
kind of flapping around. Most of them are kind of rotted off, right? Not the alpha zombie.
Of course not. He has to show his dominance somehow.
Did you watch The Wrecking Crew?
Yes.
So it's like that. Only you see the dick, not the outline of the dick. And it's veiny and it's bulbous and it's already like almost 2 feet long. It's like 14 inches long and it's flaccid. And all you want to do is kick the TV and say, you better get away from me, thing. But my partner's just like, why is there a zombie dick?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, and he's just like, no, that's just not real. I'm like, you're right. That's not real.
The same reason there's a giant blue man dick in The Watchmen?
I don't know. I haven't watched the Watchmen movie in at least 20, 25 years.
That was a good movie.
I liked Rorschach's mask. That was really cool. But so...
You're stuck in here with me.
Right.
Anyway.
I'm not stuck with you. Yeah, that guy who played Rorschach did a really good job.
Yeah.
So there you go. We can have Aaron Taylor Johnson do that too. So it was just an interesting contrast to me to see him in Kraven the Hunter. And literally, and I know these ladies out there are going to agree with me, the dude has like an 8 or a 10 pack.
Okay.
It is undeniably super ripped.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that looks better than Zac Efron, who got super ripped for Baywatch. And I don't like guys with big muscles and everything like that. I like soft bodies because I'm like, oh, that looks like a comfy pillow I can go to sleep on, right?
Yeah.
But I was just like, holy crap, just how symmetrical everything is on him is insane.
Yeah.
Like the effort he has to put in. But like I said, he's a vegetable farmer at home. So I don't know.
That makes me think of there's this Australian dude who's a farmer. And he has workout videos of him, just videos of himself working out. And he's like a world's strongest man type stuff that he's doing, although he's never competed. Apparently.
Eddie Williams?
No, it's a dude who's never competed.
Oh,
and you never see his face in the videos. It's almost always from behind. And he's like fucking carrying these fucking huge ass things. It's like, Jesus Christ. And the dude's like 6'5" or something. He's just fucking massive. And I saw this little clip where an actual World's Strongest Man competitor, an actual winner of World's Strongest Man, is watching what he's doing. He's like, I couldn't do that.
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, it's just so crazy to me because some people just go to these massive extremes on getting their body to what they think is perfection or strength or whatever. And some of these guys, I think, have overdone it.
Well, there's a difference between performance and actual fitness.
Yeah.
So most athletes will push themselves beyond the point that is actual healthy in order to perform at the highest level. And it's a bit of a problem because then they'll end up having problems later on in life oftentimes.
Yeah.
But as far as being fit, fitness isn't a competition, right? It's just trying to be healthy.
Yeah. It's doing it for yourself.
Yeah. And so when taken to the extreme, like I said, it can become problematic because you're doing X, you're lifting X amount of weight that is detrimental because you're damaging yourself essentially every time you do it.
Yeah.
And although your body will adjust, but it can only adjust so far.
Right.
Especially if you're doing everything naturally, everything should kind of be in alignment. So your bone strength, your fucking ligaments and tendons and muscles should all be working sort of together. But if you're using fucking steroids, let's say, you can push your muscle growth past what your bone strength is going to be.
Right.
And so you can cause problems.
I feel bad for the people who are using like steroids. I mean, I get some people have to use steroids because their testosterone levels are too low and it's doctor prescribed. I don't have a problem with that. It's the one who are going out getting like the back alley steroids.
Yeah.
And they're doing that. And it's just like, man, I wish you were just happy with you.
Yeah. Have you seen images of those dudes who, I don't remember what it was. It was some synthetic material. It was like synthetic oil or something like that. If you inject it into your muscles, it causes your muscles to swell up even bigger.
Yeah.
But it's not actual, it's like scar tissue mostly.
Yeah.
And so it looks like you have huge biceps or whatever muscle group you put it in, but the actual amount of strength isn't there.
Yeah.
And so they just look ridiculous.
Yeah. And then when they actually blow it out trying to get it real.
Yeah.
It's so, I saw a picture of one where it blew out and it was just like this huge double lump underneath their arm. I was like,
yeah, because it like flops over and then it becomes it looks like a tricep, except it's just flopping there.
Yeah, it's like, it's so crazy. But
yeah.
I mean, I think my vote of confidence that Aaron Taylor Johnson did his shit natural would be there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I give him huge kudos because he's got some more movies coming out in 2026 and 2027 and they actually sound really interesting because one is werewolf. It's called Werewolf. Okay. And not werewolf how we spell it here in America, but the German way. So I'm really excited because it's
Werewolf.
Werewolf. So we're going to go back in time and we're going to see that story. So that's cool.
So is it one of those, is it a remake of the original werewolf movie? Like I can't remember.
One with Michelle Pfeiffer and Anthony Hopkins or whatever?
No. I mean the really, really, really old ones.
I didn't see that because since it's in post-production, they keep shit under wraps. Just like basically it was like back in I think 1800s and there's this beast terrorizing this village. I think that's as far as it was for what I read. Because I didn't want to read too much because I'm just like, wow, it's really cool to me to have another actor besides like Chris Hemsworth that I really like or Chris Evans. Fuck Chris Pine. No offense, dude. But, you know, there's not...
Chris Pratt.
I love me some Chris Pratt. We just saw a new Chris Pratt movie on Amazon Prime that I think you'd really like. And it's called Mercy. And it was absolutely 100% terrifying.
Okay.
Because it could really become to that. You know, I mean, it's called Mercy. It's on Amazon Prime. It's Chris Pratt. And it shows the future of law enforcement, where instead of it being the judicial system being run by human emotions or being impacted by human emotions or human emotions interfering with it, it is a computer program.
Okay. And
you have 90 minutes to plead your case. You have 90 minutes to plead your case. You have to stay below, I think it's 95% probability of guilt, and they will not execute you. If you stay above that 95%, they're executing you in 90 minutes. And it's what's crazy about it is, so I watched it with my partner and we talked about it, and I was just like, honestly, he's like, that's like what the future's going to have. I'm like, yeah, it is. Because if you have a set parameter that says like you can't sit there and have a judicial law that says A, B, C, D. These are your 4 parameters for this. Because then what we do is we have human compassion, and somebody will say, this was my first offense. Please have leniency on me and don't make me do the full sentence. And we do that. They're just resentencing somebody who was convicted here in Washington. I think it was here in Washington in 1994. They were convicted of murder. And you know what this motherfucker says to them? Oh, please have some mercy on me and reduce my sentence because I was just young and angry in 1994. I don't care. That person didn't get any mercy from you.
Yeah.
I don't hate much, but I hate the fact that we will let our emotions determine how we, instead of being able to look at something and going, you took a life that could have lived to be, with today's advances, you could have, she could have lived to be 100. So she lost 80 years of her life. So why aren't you losing 80 years of your life?
Yeah.
Like, sorry, that's just me. So anyways, Mercy, great movie. And it's what I really liked about the movie was it did show where you need to separate human emotion to figure out your facts. Because there's this whole incident that happens, obviously, right, in the middle of this movie. And, and Chris Pratt literally has to say, I can't deal with that. I need to deal with just the facts. And then when he has the opportunity to actually have an emotional response, then it's literally like, fuck you, dude. And I love it because he reins himself in because he's the designer. He's one of the designers of this program, as a police detective. So it's really good. But my partner's like, oh man, like life could be like that. And I'm like, yeah, it probably would be a good thing to have a program like that can sort through all of the different facts in all of the ways that they show in this movie and then take it to a jury.
Yeah, actually having AI run through the facts and then have a judge make the decision would probably be, one of the problems with, I used to fucking hate lawyers because of a lot of the stupid shit that happens in the United States.
Right.
But then I realized, well, there's a judge that has to fucking agree with that stupid lawyer's bullshit. And so there's a lot of judges. In fact, several judges got fucking in trouble because of doing stupid shit. But there's a lot of judges that are like super soft on crime. And so you'll have situations like the murderer, and they'll be like, oh, well, you were just misled or whatever. And sometimes, yeah, that might be the case.
Yeah. But
a lot of times that person made a decision and you're not holding them accountable for it, even though you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking annoying, especially when it's a repeat offender.
Don't even. I really dislike the fact that we have. I enjoy the fact that we have the 3 strikes you're outlaw, but I also dislike it in the fact that I'm like, if it's a serious enough offense, like, I don't know, manslaughter or attempted murder, maybe it should be 1 strike and you're out, because that's obviously somebody who needs to have some really, corrective action taken on their part. And, they could correct their lives and then they could go live in the juvenile detention center and teach the kids to do better or something. I don't know. It's just like...
Teach the kids to be better criminals?
Probably, right? Well, the interesting thing about Mercy is, and I'm not going to lie, like I said, I'm just slightly left of center and people don't understand that because I can be like in a work situation. There are some people, alternate
lifestyle?
No, alternate gender people who are in the middle of transitioning. And on the one hand, I can't imagine being in a body, being a sex that I didn't come to terms with and being in a body that I hated so badly. I wanted to
mutilate it.
Yeah, like I couldn't imagine. And I feel bad because how hard that's got to be on their heart. And that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So I can be very PC about it. But on the other hand, sometimes when one of them is acting like a big fucking crybaby and drama queen, I want to say, put your big panties on and act like an adult.
Yeah.
Which I can't do, but I still think it. So anyways, so in Mercy, they have taken and they have quarantined all of the basically Los Angeles. They've quarantined Los Angeles. They've blocked it off. It's good. A giant tent city that's been blocked off because of the crime rate, the drug rate, everything.
Wall around it.
Yep, they build a wall around it. And I looked at my partner and I said, I am all for that.
Give them all the drugs they want. It'll sort itself out.
It's not even a matter of give them all the drugs they want, because here's what happens when somebody is saying, it's the environment, I don't have any other choices. If you're put in an environment that really doesn't agree with who you are at your core and everything, and it's something you really want to get away from, you will figure out how to get away from it. You're not going to sit there and be re-victimized over and over. You're going to figure out a way to fight or you're not, period.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, I'm sorry, that might not be the most PC thing to say, but I think that especially in Pierce County, I said, I think we should have, like 5 acres where they're taught everything they need to survive on their own. They're taught how to do gardening, how to do all the basic skills that they obviously don't remember from school. Because there's a huge part of our populace that are homeless or transient or whatever, because they've been drug addicts since they were kids.
Yeah.
And so they've never learned any life skills.
Yeah.
And like, I got a job offer invite and I got invited to, we would like you to apply to oversee our like homeless shelter encampment thing, to be one of the monitors there. And I'm going to be very honest and say, as much as I want to be positive, and I do try to positively reinforce people. No, I could not do it because I'm going to be the one that would snap. I don't have enough Jesus to sit there and say, oh yes, it's mommy and daddy's fault that you decided, although they're very, affluent. They're very affluent,
okay,
and they've never done drugs and they go to church every Sunday, but it's their fault because they told you needed to go to church and you didn't find Jesus. It's their fault. I'm not the one. I am the one to say, you're a fucking adult. What happens to you when you're a kid that's beyond your control is beyond your control. Mm-hmm. When you become an adult, you dictate how you're going to live your life.
Yeah.
And sitting there, especially, and trust me, I've talked to enough. Between the shop and where I work now, I've talked to enough where I'm like, you 45 years old, you haven't lived at home in 30 years and you're trying to tell me it's still your mommy's fault?
Yeah.
Because mommy wouldn't buy you a pair of Calvin Klein jeans? I've literally had somebody say that. Well, it's my mom's fault that I'm like this because she wouldn't buy me. This is going to really date me. She wouldn't buy me Guess jeans because they were $29 and we couldn't afford that. Okay, so that's still your excuse in your 40s as to why you're behaving the way you are.
I dropped out of high school because I was smarter than the jock, and the jock got an A in the class because the teacher gave it to him.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like, that still pisses me off when it's like, you're too smart for this, dude.
It's like, it's not just athletes that get scholarships.
Yeah.
But, people have to understand that there's more athletic scholarships because we also, as a nation, we compete every few years in this thing called the Olympic Games because we want to be the best.
Yeah.
So that's what one of the things we're looking for is how do we entertain ourselves?
Yeah.
A great portion of our world, we watch sports. How do we say we're better than you? Through our athletes. Duh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, China has entire schools set up that are just for that.
Yeah.
So they have like, I don't know if they have high schools, but they have colleges that's all they're for is to train athletes.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather reward big brains than big brawn.
I mean,
that's me, but I get where we need to be competitive.
Yeah. And it's kind of at least both kind of get rewarded as opposed to only one or the other. Because in a world where you only reward big brains, people are going to end up getting murdered.
Yeah.
And in a world where you only reward brawn, well, the same thing's going to happen. They're just going to do it in a smarter way.
They're going to take all your money and make you a slave. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
So anyways, not that I wanted to squirrel there, but I definitely thank you for the recommend for Kraven. It made me like really look at Aaron Taylor Johnson a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And like I said, then I saw him in all this stuff and I'm just like, oh, I really liked him in there. So why didn't I associate the two? Mm-hmm. And I really, really enjoyed him as Tangerine on Bullet Train. Mm. His comedic timing is pretty freaking good for a guy who mostly does action and drama. Did you just say vegetables? You're such a dick. But so then I watched, like I said, 28 Years Later because I love the series. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, Ralph Fiennes is in there, and he's the one who. Have you seen Red Dragon? Part of the whole
part of the
Hannibal Lecter line and stuff. Okay, well he's the Red Dragon.
Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, he's Voldemort.
Okay, I've only watched one of those movies.
I know, but at least it gives you a reference point as to what his acting range has been. So he actually is in there shirtless, and he's not looking too bad for a 60-something-year-old dude. Mm. He's done pretty good. But anyways, and so thanks for that recommend. So I'm going to recommend Mercy back to you. Okay. Because I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Mercy!
I think you'll get a kick out of it. And I think you'll be like me, where it's like, there's a lot of things in here that are a really good idea. And then there's some things that are a bad idea. Yeah. But just, I do love how it gives you a look at where it's really interesting because you've got the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt, that people think that's really going to happen. You've got another one. I can't remember. It's with him and Taylor Kish. And people think, oh gosh, that's really how it is when it comes to the military. And then you've got this one with Chris Pratt. And it's just like, it's interesting to me because I think Chris Pratt could be our comical De Niro in the future. And then I'm obsessed with Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'll probably be for like another 5 minutes or whatever, obsessed with this kid. But I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, he literally could be the next Nick Cage. Okay. And, Nick Cage started out his career kind of doofy and goofy when you look at American Graffiti and, and then stuff like Peggy Sue Got Married and all of that. And then you see him come in and he does Ghost Rider and Snake Eyes and Face Off and Gone in 60 Seconds and all these different really good movies. And I'm like, oh God, this could be our new Nick Cage because he has that same range.
I love Racing Arizona.
Yeah, it's pretty
funny.
Even
though it's kind of a stupid movie.
It's kind of funny, though.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. At least it's not Will Ferrell stupid funny. So anyways, I thank you for the recommend. I recommend Mercy back. Hopefully we can talk about it in the future because it's like there are so many things. I love the ideology about it. Like, we caught you on video killing somebody, so you're going to sit here for 90 minutes knowing you're going to get eradicated. And it's not like they give him an injection. They give him a sonic boom to the head. Mm. They just vibrate him to death. And not in a good way. Fucking psycho. Anyways, worth checking out. I can't wait to see what else he does. I just saying, hey, Kevin Feige, start looking at this kid for like when you hit your 25th anniversary of Iron Man, because we're almost at the 20th anniversary now. We've already hit the 20th anniversary of the first Hulk movie, I think. Because I think that came out in 2006. It was either 5 or 6, but then but it depends on which one you talk about.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably, maybe I think it's been longer since the actual first movie. But the one that was part of the Marvel
that one's been almost 20 years.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Eric Bana one is getting ready to hit 22 years because I think that was the first one when they started redoing it. And then the one with Edward Norton, because Edward Norton was supposed to continue on to be the Hulk. That was 2006 or 2007.
Yeah.
And so it's super crazy. And I really like that Hulk movie. A lot of people give that. Same. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so garbage. Eric Bana was better. No, Eric Bana's was a fine standalone movie. Sure, that was just an incident the Hulk had. Yeah. But I don't know. There was something about Edward Norton that minus American History X.
I love that movie.
I hate that movie. Minus American History X, it's just like,
put your fucking mouth on the curb.
shut up, stop. I hate that so bad. But he brings a lot to it, and he did, it's so crazy. He did so good with it. It's just amazing. But so I hope people check out Kraven. I hope people check out work by Aaron Taylor Johnson, because I think he is literally going to be the next Nick Cage. He could even be the next Brad Pitt without all the psychodrama of personal life, because he's got a wife that he's been married to. She's older. She's mature. She doesn't let that cheap shit get in her brain. And he seems to have a really intelligent and good head on his shoulders. I really like him. I really want to see him in more Marvel stuff. I think he could probably even, go back. And they could probably even take Elizabeth Olsen and him back and do just a Pietro and Wanda movie. See how I remembered it?
Yeah, I mean, those... I was going to say those two characters are kind of side characters.
Right.
Because they're from X-Men. Mm-hmm. And X-Men is more about Professor X and Magneto. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of, like I said, side characters. But yeah, it doesn't really matter.
I don't know. I'm liking the kid. I think he's the next, like I said, he's going to fall somewhere between Nick Cage and Brad Pitt. I think he could be the next De Niro. I don't know.
There will never be another De Niro. Or Al Pacino.
Pacino's like 84, 86, man. He doesn't look bad for his age, but he's getting rough.
Yeah.
Hoo-ha.
Wow.
I'm just glad that wasn't on video, because
fucking dork.
Have a good afternoon.
Later.
Bye. Okay, everybody, that's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.